Hey guys, it's Danny. Short and sweet video today. I just wanted to show you the best orchid that I have. That's quite the statement, right? What is the best orchid even supposed to mean? Well, it means this one. This is the best orchid that I have. It deserves this title. This is my Howeara Lava Burst. Now, I have quite the history with this orchid. I have it for a number of years, many years, maybe 6 at this point. But for the first 2 years of its life, it really struggled in my potting mix experiments with the Ceramis and the leca and all of that. It arrived mounted on a water cylinder. So transitioning it to these setups, which are honestly, they turned out to be not viable for me. They didn't stay wet enough. Yeah, that took its toll. And this orchid at some point was almost dead. I'm not even kidding. It was a small little thing, very shriveled, just like a raisin. So this was one of the orchids that I think it's the first orchid that I ever put in full sphagnum moss. I'm lying. It was sphagnum moss and perlite, but mainly sphagnum moss and self-watering. And it loved it. It did well ever since, and at some point I did change it into a small bark setup, which worked out just as well, but I had to water it more often, so I switched back to sphagnum moss for quite a while. Currently she is residing in full sphagnum moss, just like the rest of my orchids. You might not be able to see it in this pot because I have that top layer of bark, but you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Don't worry, we're gonna make another video on this one soon when it blooms, because behold, this is her today. I decided to place her here. She is mounted, no, she's hanging. I did this morning because I just took a little look-see at her and counted her flower spikes. It is her flowering time, and I counted no less than 10 flower spikes. Would be a little hard to show you in view now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 3 more in the back. So we're having 10 flower spikes this year. And if you remember the previous bloomings, they were just going from good to very good to extremely good. I was asking myself in a video, where is the full potential? How will this orchid end up? What's the best it can do? Well, there is no such thing. Every year it's better and better, and now she is a little monster. This is a tiny orchid, by the way. You can see it next to my hand. She is a specimen size at this point. She grew very fast, but it stays quite tiny. So, you know me, I love tiny orchids because who doesn't need extra space? So, can you imagine, you guys, the bloom show that we're gonna have this year? I'm gonna search for some footage of the last blooming, if not one of the second to last or something like that, when it had 3 flower spikes, I believe, with branches and all of that. It looked glorious. Try to imagine 10 flower spikes with branches and the whole lot. I'm hoping it's gonna be a branchy show and all of that. I mean, why wouldn't it be, right? Because I treated it correctly. I repotted it recently this month, not because the medium was going bad, but because the roots on this orchid, the roots are a little untidy, they grow everywhere, so many of the roots were outside of the pot. And this is not an orchid that does good with too many aerial roots, in my environment at least, because I don't have enough humidity and it loves water. It absolutely needs humidity to keep all of these wonderful flower spikes and pseudobulbs and leaves hydrated. I don't have much dehydration signs on it. You can see I don't have too many discolored leaf tips. Those are signs of dehydration, but I don't have leaf tip dieback, which is good. So I did my best to keep this one hydrated, but from time to time, I just need to tuck all of those aerial roots inside. And no, there is no issue trying to convert them to being potted, because as I was saying, this orchid loves water. I looked around, none of the orchids that I tucked in are actually dying off. You know, sometimes it happens, some of the roots just don't adapt, especially if they're aerial. Well, this orchid doesn't care. It needs its roots wet pretty much at all times to give me this show. And I just cannot wait. It's a wonderful red orchid. I love red flowers and red orchids in particular, orange and red as well. Well, I love many orchids. Okay, never mind that. I just love this one, and just stay tuned to see the wonderful show. I shall never divide this orchid. It will become a mammoth, and that's fine because that bloom show, it's gonna be It's gonna be glorious. Can you imagine all of those flower spikes being pendant here? Because yes, they do kind of tend to grow pendant due to their own weight. Now, as you can see, they're pointing to the skies. Yeah, they start out like that, but then they start to lean over under their own weight. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine? I cannot wait. I'm so proud of this orchid, not so proud of myself for putting it through converting to semi-hydro, let gas ramus, whatever I was playing with at the time. I didn't know about this orchid being so thirsty, but I saved her in time, and I'm just the luckiest orchid grower to have. P.S. This is a very affordable orchid. It is not rare, nothing of the sorts. It might not be in stock all the time. Just put it on the wish list, wait for it, and just get it if you think you like the flowers, because I assure you, you get the care right, you get the water right, and it's just one of the most glorious orchids, especially when it grows. And as I was saying, it's affordable, in orchid terms at least. Alrighty, so that's about it for today. Thank you guys so much for joining. Stay tuned to see this orchid in full bloom. And yeah, I'll see you Friday with, I do believe, Myth or Truth. Alrighty, so that said, I hope you'll have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye.